In the headlines, we'll tell you why train services are still not working on the Accra-Tema and Nsawam routes. CLOGSAG says it is not going to cut off the strike until the neutrality allowance due members have been paid. Statistical Service Board charged to provide statistics for national development. And Otto Addo released by Dortmund to coach Ghana at 2022 World Cup. Last year, it was announced that the rail lines, especially on the Accra-Tema and Nsawam routes, were ready to start running rail services again. However, the resumption of the scheduled rides has failed to materialize 7 months after the Minister of Railways Development, John Peter Amewu, announced that the ministry had completed rehabilitation works on the line. Daily Graphic has been following up at the Railways Ministry and has gathered this information.
A source at the ministry told the Daily Graphic that the inability of the start of operation was due to the lack of coaches. The ministry recently changed some of Ghana's rail tracks from narrow gauge to standard gauge. The coaches also need to change to conform to the new standard, the source said.
The Civil Service and Local Government Staff Association Ghana is calling on the Ministry of Finance to respect the directive of the National Labour Commission and come up with a payment plan for the payment of the neutrality allowance for members of the association.
The Executive Secretary of CLOGSAG, Otto Addo, today told Graphic Online that members will continue the industrial action until their demand for neutrality allowance was met. CLOGSAG members laid down their tools on April 21, following the inability of the government to pay the allowance as agreed upon on January 2022. The neutrality allowance is to ensure that civil servants discharge their duties professionally without getting involved in partisan activities. The strike has had an effect on many who are seeking government services.
And in Accra today, the newly inaugurated 7-member governing board of the Ghana Statistical Service has been charged to lead the service to provide high-quality statistics that will guide the country's development. They are also being entreated to explore other ways to financially strengthen the service, as the vast majority of its funding has been spent on the 2021 Population and Housing Census.
The Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. John Kuma, who gave the charge, said he was hopeful that the board will promote the effective use of statistics, stimulate research activities, and promote guidance to the government statistician and the government. The board is chaired by Dr. Grace A. Bediakon and has Professor Samuel Kobina Enim, Ashioka Eshong, Dr. Evans Agridakon, Dr. Josephine Jahene Kwashi, Philip Abradu Otu, and Professor Robert Dakon Osei as members.
Please be reminded that the Statistical Service Board, at a time when there is increasing demand for credible data, for evidence-based decision-making, and that you would need resources to facilitate your work. Please note that government, through the World Bank, provided the Statistical Service an amount of $150 million for the conduct of the census and to harmonize and strengthen data collection systems in Ghana and 7 West African countries. We recognize that considerable amount was spent on the 2021 Population and Housing Census, so we entreat you to ensure the efficient use of the remaining resources as other initiatives are explored to financially strengthen the service.
In sports, German side Borussia Dortmund has given Otto Addo the green light to coach Ghana's national team during the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar at the end of the year. The coach made the confirmation in a podcast by Hamburger Abendblatt, a German newspaper in Hamburg.
Otto Addo will also be allowed to lead Ghana's 2023 African Cup of Nations qualifiers, beginning with a Group E clash with Madagascar in Cape Coast on May 29. The green light by Dortmund paves the way for GFA to open contract talks with a 46-year-old coach as the substantive national team manager. GFA President Kurt Okraku was in Europe last month to engage the coach on the vacant job and also to get the permission of his employers, who released him to assist former Ghana coach Milovan Rajovac, successor to Charles Akono, during the group phase of the World Cup qualifiers last year.
News in Brief was brought to you by Graphic News Plus.
Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Visit us on graphic.com.gh for further information. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
Thank you for watching. Stay safe and protect yourself from COVID-19. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at Graphic GH. I'm Ama Amankwa Befi.
Subscribe now.